One guy who's a social media influencer has dropped veganism. He's not a nutrition expert. He's not a doctor. I really don't think he has any nutrient deficiencies. I think there may be more business opportunities elsewhere.
Hey everybody, this is Klaus from Plant-Based News. So if you heard the news about Jon Venus, the ex-vegan bodybuilder who now claims the vegan lifestyle might not be as healthy as he thought it once was. But it certainly caused an uproar in the community, including from medical doctor Dr. Garth Davis, who's got some opinions on this topic.
Why are people freaking out because one guy who's a social media influencer has dropped veganism? He's not a nutrition expert. He's not a doctor. Maybe freak out if McDougal says he's no longer vegan, or if Dr. Greger comes out with a video with a whole bunch of references. Or if I say, boy, I was wrong about protein, you ought to get a whole bunch of protein right now and it better be coming from meat. But why freak out because some guy who built big muscles on a vegan diet is no longer vegan? Are you vegan because he's vegan and therefore now that he's not vegan, you no longer want to be vegan? Is that why you're vegan? I find it weird that he isn't vegan anymore because of nutrient deficiencies in people that he's counseled. Now, why are you going to him for counseling? I don't understand. I see a lot of nutrient deficiencies in a lot of different people, not just vegans. In fact, I see very few nutrient deficiencies in vegans, and it's easy to treat if I do find it, vitamin D deficiency or things like that. But you're not doing veganism for health reasons. It happens to be extremely healthy, and we've got tons and tons of evidence regarding that, and I've published that in my book and on my social media feeds. But I'm not vegan because of my health. I'm plant-based because of my health, but I'm not vegan because of my health. You know, occasionally I go out and get a beer. That's not necessarily healthy. Or drink a glass of wine. I have been known at times to smoke a cigar. These aren't healthy things. I do them once in a blue moon. But if I was doing veganism for health reasons, then once in a blue moon, I'd have a cheeseburger. But I'm not doing that because I'm vegan for an ethic. And if you're vegan for an ethic, the idea of leaving that because of a nutrient deficiency seems a little bit strange to me. It means you no longer have that ethic because these nutrient deficiencies are rare, and when people have them, they're extremely easy to supplement. I've been vegan for many, many years. I've treated many people who are vegan, and I see more nutrient deficiencies by far in people eating meat, but by far, not even in the same ballpark. So I don't really understand it, but to each their own. If you don't want to be vegan anymore, you don't have to be vegan. If he's going to go on a predominantly plant-based diet, I'm sure he'll be very healthy that way. I understand he had a new kid, and I understand the fear with children. You just don't want to make any mistakes, and so you want to do what most people tell you to do. Can you have healthy vegan children? Yeah, you can have healthy vegan children. My children are by and large vegan, and when they're not vegan, because I don't want to create eating disorders in them, it's when they're out on the town eating, and it's not like they're eating any meat, which they don't, but it's ice cream and pizza. And if they're eating that, it's not exactly healthy. So they're much more healthier when they are vegan, and they're extremely healthy. In fact, everybody I know who has vegan children are extremely healthy. It's easy to do. It's not difficult. So I still understand when someone is worried about it, but you got to understand that. I mean, if you're looking at protein, you're worried about protein deficiencies. There's been multiple studies. In fact, one showed that it was fruit and vegetables in children that was most associated with growth and weight gain, unless you're looking at third world countries. And they could get all the different nutrients they need so long as they're eating a varied plant-based diet. And so you just need to have proper counseling, and that counseling shouldn't be a guy who works out at a gym. It should be a nutritionist or a medical doctor who's experienced in these kind of issues. So yeah, I don't understand the uproar when someone leaves veganism. Everybody's got their own ethics and their own worries and concerns. There's no recent study to say veganism is bad for you. There's no recent study to say that vegans have any more deficiencies than anybody else out there who has deficiencies. I see vitamin D deficiencies in everybody because no one's getting in the sun anymore. So I would tell people to relax. I mean, if you've got your ethic stand behind your ethic, feel for your ethic. I do what I do, not for anybody else, but for what I believe to be right. And you should be the same. It shouldn't be threatened because some guy, either is, I really don't think he has any nutrient deficiencies. I think there may be more business opportunities elsewhere, or he simply is nervous about raising a kid, and I'm sure he's probably going to stay predominantly plant-based unless there's a lot of fame in some other areas. But don't let that figure into your decisions. You be vegan because you have that ethic, and be plant-based because all the studies show that it is extremely healthy for you. And if I ever find out it isn't healthy for you, believe me, I will post a video saying why I am no longer vegan.